it's a metal type reed, and there's it's like a slash in it. Because one part is to cut into the skin, and the other part, once it gets into the skin, because there's videos of Edomites, stupid ass Edomites. Well, they can give themselves chips. It don't matter. They ain't going to make it any damn way. But there's actual Edomites out there that are not even doctors, that they'll get the syringe or whatever, and they'll actually put the chip. They'll show you the chip. Then they'll put the chip. They'll have another guy put it on, and they'll actually show that they put that syringe, I guess you call it, in right into the right hand, and then they squeeze it in. They administer that chip in there, you know. So these Edomites know, man. Hey, the children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light. That's right. So Esau knows about it, but he don't care. He don't give a shit.
That's right.
I got a quick precept. This is Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Yeah, so these devils, they know that the chip is real.
Yeah, I have a quick precept, and it's in the book of Isaiah 36:6, and it's dealing with America, but it could go also into this RFID chip, right? Isaiah 36:6, it says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." Because that's the whole reason why the Most High is going to destroy people who receive the RFID chip, because they trust in America and on this RFID chip instead of trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
In Egypt.
And this is Egypt. You got to read that scripture again, man. And I got to give you a hand clap for bringing out that new scripture, man. Because that's a bad scripture. That's going to be officially introduced to the camp later today, man. All right? And that's the new chip scripture. Okay?
That's it.
Yes, I'm going to read it again. That's Isaiah 36, verse 6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt," which is America, "whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand, and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him."
Right, and Pharaoh, Egypt is America. This is the modern Egypt. That's why when you go down to D.C., you have the Washington Monument, which is nothing but an Egyptian obelisk, and the Pharaoh at this particular time is Barack Hussein Obama. All right, which he actually could have been one of them pharaohs back there. He is a Hamite. You got guys, I think he's a Jake. What? You got to look at this nigga walk off a fucking plane, man. Looks like a damn gerbil, man. Or a damn squirrel or something. That dude ain't got no swag of a Jake, man.
Yeah, you look that Hebrew word up for reed. The Hebrew word there is quanah, and it says a measuring rod. So basically, by Rothschild putting that chip in you, he's measuring his property. I mean, you're already his property, but he's taking a count. He's taking a head count of his property. You know?
Yeah, the reason why they're doing it, obviously, is because it's a fulfillment of the scriptures.
Gone.
But the reason why they're doing it, because, if you're a mechanic, you can do side jobs, right?
Yeah.
Make a little money off the side, right? If you're an electrician, you can work at your job, get paid, but you can also do side jobs. There's all kind of skills where you can let's say a woman in your building, she's a single woman and she's moving and she sees you and you got your friends and you move her, instead of her paying like $1,500, you might say, well, look, give us $1,000 and we'll move you. But do it in cash. Which is he going to say no? Because you're doing a side job. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what they want to do is they want to make it to where everything is electronic. Every bit of money that you make is electronic. So nobody can so-called get over on the system. Right. They want an X amount of taxes, they can just take it right out of your chip. That's the exact words of Aaron Russo.
Aaron Russo, yeah.
And then the producer, he's going to put up that quote right there. He said they want it, they're going to chip everybody.
Yeah,
And if you don't like, if they want your money, they're just going to deduct it. They're going to deduct it right at the chip.
Yep.
And if you have a problem with going along with the orders, they'll just turn your chip off.
Turn your chip off.
And then you can't buy or sell anything. What the scripture is saying
That's it.
in Revelation the 13th chapter. So I mean, if you can't see that this is a chip, then guess what? You're not part of the elect.
Yep. Yeah, like, and then this guy, Alex Jones, who was interviewing him, he said total control, which is, that's what it means, total control. Going back to the article, it says,
Let me say this. Now, this guy, Degenerate Yohana, got embarrassed by a Padawan from, what's the brother's name?
Yatab.
Yatab. Yatab was a Padawan, man. Meaning he was a grown man, but he was new in this thing. He wasn't even in part of GMS. And he realized that there were brothers not too far from him that were down with GMS. And he said that. And he was a main guy that really got on this guy. He was a thorn in the side of Yohana, man. You know? He was a straight up thorn in the side to this guy. Because since Yohana said what he had to say, we're bringing out more information and more information and more information and recapping what we're dealing with, man. Now, when the brother Yatab was dealing with him, every week he asked him. He said, "What about King Solomon? Was King Solomon had?" And then you can see that that this idiot Yohana was thinking about it. Yeah, he didn't have the chip. Moses didn't have the chip. Solomon had the chip. What about the apostle? Yeah, Paul had the chip. Paul didn't have no chip. It tells you in Revelation the 20th chapter that those apostles were not going to receive the chip. And then Yatab laughed. And then your fucking ghouls started, "Fuck you, motherfucker. Punk ass motherfucker. You country ass nigga." And he laughed, and you were embarrassed, man. You were embarrassed. Because he was playing your ass because you were saying, well, Solomon had the mark of the beast. Now, if you know anything about the beast in the book of Revelation, you know that the beast didn't come on the scene but 2 times. As the Roman Empire, that's the dragon. And then the beast, the latter-day beast, is a NATO system, which the U.S. is part of NATO, and the EU, which are all European nations, man. It's a military system, it's a political system, and it's a monetary system, and it's a medical system, man.
Going back to the article, it says cannula is inserted into the flesh and depressed, where it releases the implant into the subcutaneous tissue. Question: where on the body is the VeriChip injected? The VeriChip is typically injected into the flesh of the triceps of the arm between the elbow and the shoulder. In some cases, the implant is injected into the biceps muscle between the elbow and wrist. Sean Dox is a Jake, a nigger. Well, let me say it correctly. He's a nigger. Yeah, he's a nigger that they set up.
Set this guy up. Dude ain't no C. He didn't come up with that. They chose a nigger. They chose a nigga to be the CEO. He ain't running the show, man.
Yeah. Sean Dox of City Watcher appears to have had the very chip implanted in the biceps. And they use him because
that was in the 90s. Because now they're doing it. Because when they first started doing it, they put it into your shoulder. But now what they do now is put it actually into your right hand.
Yeah, they want to get you Jake's comfortable to take, so they'll say, see, he has the chip. And he being a so-called black man, Sean Dox. There are also hobbyists who have chipped themselves with RFID implants obtained from other sources. Typically using implants sold for animal use, several of these individuals have inserted the chips into their hands. As Emil Grafstra, one such individual, put it, "It's a lot easier to open your door and unlock your car by waving your hand rather than wiggling your bicep. Rather than by wiggling your bicep. Question: how many people have received the VeriChip implants? When the VeriChip Corporation became publicly traded company in early 2007, it disclosed that 222 people in the United States had been implanted with its product. At the beginning of 2008, that
And if we have learned anything from history, it is that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former politician. To his left is Nicholas Rockefeller of the infamous Rockefeller banking and business dynasty. After maintaining a close friendship with Nicholas Rockefeller, Aaron eventually ended the relationship, appalled by what he had learned about the Rockefellers and their ambitions.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers? I said, sure, I'd love to. And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there, and out of that event, you're going to see we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we can run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East, and we're going to go into Venezuela and try and get rid of Chavez. And the first two they've accomplished. Chavez they didn't accomplish. And he said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he was laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because it's an eternal war. And so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He says, but the media. The media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things. You keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran. You know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say to them, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want. You have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people. It's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and you take care of your family. And then I said to him, what are the ultimate goals here? He said, the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip, and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off their chip.
That's right, microchipped.